In times of change, we go higher and we go deeper. We step back and say, what's going on here? And we say, what's really important? We look at the constants. Purpose is a constant. A lot of people who are going through economic crisis or medical or transitions of any sort, they start to look at what really is constant, what really is important. And when that purpose discussion comes up, that's when the kind of coaching I do, the kind of writing I do, the kind of work and tools I build, that's when people start looking for that. That's one thing I'm finding a lot of. People are working harder, they're working 24/7. If they're going to spend this much time, it's not going to just be for money. They're going to do it, they want it to count for something in their lives. I think that's an instinct of an awful lot of people. A lot of people in the second half of life who are saying they did the first half for money, or they did it to survive and pay the bills. Now they want to do something meaningful. So I think at various ages and stages, this purpose conversation comes up in this economy, and a lot of times it's related to work and vocation. One way to do it in a quick way is to catch yourself in the act of being yourself. And that is to, first of all, take a blank piece of paper and just sit down and write down what it is that you love to do. What is it that your hand turns to naturally during the course of any day? How do you know that? It's when you lose all track of time. So you think about during the course of a day, when is it that you're so engaged in something that you lose yourself in it because you're so engaged in it? There are other parts of the day, by the way, you can make a separate list of the things you don't love to do. The things where it's, minutes don't fly by, they go by very, very, very slowly. So you look, first of all, at your gifts, what you love to do, and you write down maybe 10 or 15 of those gifts. And then the next day you take that list out and you circle the 5 things that seem now to really stand out for you as the top 5. And you look at those top 5 and you say, and you remind yourself of when you were doing those, and then pick your top 1 and circle that top 1. I call that the golden thread, the number 1 gift. And there's certain ways we can test this out, but one of the ways simply to do it is write it on a Post-it and put it on your mirror. And now the next day, in the morning, you look at it and say, is that it? And through the course of the day, you keep asking yourself, do I love to do that? And you keep trying to look at catching yourself in the act of doing that. So one simple way, we're all born with gifts. One simple way to do it is just to notice yourself. That the whole business of having a reason to get up in the morning that's outside of yourself and beyond yourself is natural to human beings. And when they can tap into that at a deeper choice level, what I call the power of purpose, they've got more energy, they tend to live longer, they tend to be healthier, and their work is more productive. Visceral, palpable feeling when you talk to people who are on purpose. It's kind of like germs in the body. You can't see them. Purpose is like that. You can't always see it, but you know it when you're around it, and you can feel it. And when people start talking about those things they care about and how they want to contribute, there's an energy there that's unmistakable. From working with and doing research with people, for example, who are in extended care facilities or assisted living facilities, if they can get up in the morning and water a plant, feed a pet, or read to a kid, their dementia gets better, they tend to live longer, and they tend to live with a certain sense of vitality. Purpose is like exercise. The more you do it, the better it gets, and the deeper it gets. If you go out and exercise once, you get a certain benefit. Same is true with purpose. If you volunteer once, you get a benefit. But if you volunteer regularly, you get more benefit. There's more payoff, and therefore more longevity and more health. When you have a reason to get up in the morning, even if it's to see a kid's graduation, you're really sick, let's say, but you're not about to miss that. You'll do whatever it takes to hang on. My teacher in this is Viktor Frankl, who wrote Man's Search for Meaning and who was in a concentration camp. He said the people who survived the concentration camp experience were those people who had a reason to get up in the morning, a sense of purpose, giving somebody else a crust of bread, giving somebody else a kind word, envisioning how they were going to operate in the future beyond themselves and their own situation at the time. And so I think it's a really powerful notion to think that having a reason to get up in the morning will make us live longer, perhaps, and better in even the most dire of circumstances.